What's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a good day, and if you're not, I hope after you hear this message it's able to put a bright smile on your faces. So let's dive right in. The topic we're going to be talking about today is something that none of us really like to talk about, and it's about our enemies. I know, what do you mean? But just keep listening. So I want to ask you guys a question. What's like the first thing you hear when I say David? Like, just scream the first word you hear. So some of you guys might have said, how David and he was a king, or the battle with David and Goliath. And if you're in one of those topics, then we're on the right track. So the one thing that I want you guys to focus on, like the one line I want you to remember in this message, is enemies will be our footstool, guys. So sorry for the noise, but hashtag this is Miami. So let's continue. So we're gonna talk about the story of David. So for those of you who don't know, I'm gonna give a little summary to it. So David was he took care of sheep, guys. So the whole day he was in the field, and in the Bible in 1 Samuel 17, it said that there was bears and lions that would attack the sheep, they literally take them away from the flock. And David, just a young boy, would go and seize after them. He would literally kill them and bring the sheep back to the flock. And during those times there was a war going on between good and evil. And even right now, we see that we ourselves go through those wars. And it's like, what do you mean? And sometimes we try to do good things, and our beautiful flesh right here, he tries to put thoughts in our mind like we're not good enough or we don't deserve this. And guys, we deserve everything because we have a God that is full of so much love. So the person that pretty much represented that evil was Goliath. So I'm going to describe to you as much as possible as how he looked. So Goliath was a warrior, and he pretty much was 6 cubits and a span. You're like, what the heck is that? And pretty much it measures to about 9 feet and 9 inches. So imagine like an elephant just on its legs and just standing up. Like, that's pretty tall, guys. So not only was he like extremely tall, he had armor with him that just one piece of armor on him weighed about 6,000 shekels, guys. Like, I'm blown right now. So he was wearing all that armor, and he had heavy weapons. So every 40 days, the Bible says that Goliath would go in that line. He would scream out saying, "Give me your best warrior." He wanted to fight them. And David, one day the dad tells David to go take food to his brothers in the camp. David was the youngest of 7 brothers. So he's walking to give the food to his brothers, and the one time he goes, he hears Goliath screaming, "Send me your best warrior." So he ends up hearing him, and he goes to the king, and he tells the king, "I will go fight in that battle for you guys." And now imagine, Goliath was a warrior since young age. David literally just came right now. And when they hear the word Goliath, everybody is full of like scared and terror. But the king has no other choice, so he says, "Give this man armor." So they start putting armor on him and everything. And when David tries to walk, he ends up stumbling because of how heavy this armor is. And he's like, "You know what? I'm just gonna go in my bare clothes." And you know what he takes? He doesn't take a sword or a shield to protect him. He takes a couple of rocks and a slingshot. So he walks face to face with Goliath right now. And Goliath laughs and mocks him, and he's like, "Do you think I'm a dog? Do you bring sticks to this fight?" And he screams to the Israelites, and he says, "I thought you were gonna give me your best warrior." And David has so much faith that God has given him, guys, that this verse, I love it. So it's in Matthew 17:20. It says, Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith like a grain of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." So David grabs a rock, he grabs a slingshot, and he throws it, and he shoots it right at Goliath, and it hits him right here on the forehead, and he just, bam, hits the ground. And imagine how embarrassing it is, guys, that a man that is almost the size of an elephant, guys, a young boy was able to defeat him. And not only did David use the rock to knock him down, he runs, he grabs the sword of Goliath. He could have grabbed any other sword, and he slices the head of Goliath, guys. And what do I mean? What did I say in the beginning? Our enemy will be our footstool, guys. And it's like our blessings are gonna come from the sword of our enemies, guys. And I know a lot of us, we push our enemies away, but I'm here to tell you guys today, let the enemies come, guys, because that's where the blessings are gonna come. That's where our growth is gonna start to grow. And that's when we're gonna start walking towards our calling and walking towards our destiny, guys. And some of you guys might say, "You know what? He had luck, God had him at that moment." So let's talk about Jesus right now. So Jesus had 12 disciples with him. And I'm here to tell you that if all those disciples left, Jesus would be perfectly fine. But if Judas left him, it would be a different story. And you might ask yourself, what do you mean? He betrayed him. That's exactly why, guys. Because what happened, what happened when Judas betrayed Jesus, guys? Jesus is the greatest, most sacrifice of all time, guys, and he died on the cross for us. Not only to show the love he has for me, but for all of you guys listening and watching right now, guys. That's how great God's love is. And you know, I know a lot of us, we throw the word love around, like in this generation, we throw it around like it's anything, guys. But I promise you, the love of God is like no other, guys. Like, it's just so immense, and it brings a smile on my face every time I describe it. And you know, this verse, that it's just crazy what it says. I want you guys to hear it. It says, "But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, just listen. Turn to them the other cheek also. And if anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles, guys." And it's like, what does that show us? Is that we also have to have love for our enemies. And I know a lot of us, you know, we love people who give us that same energy back, you know, who treat us right, who cherish us. But it's like, God, even though he died on the cross, he knew that we were going to sin and we were going to do good and bad things, guys. But he still loves us. And we can't limit that love to other people also. We have to love people who do us good and people who do us bad, guys. Because I'm here to tell you that those people that we're going to love, guys, those enemies of ours, they're going to bless us so much. Like, God is literally going to bless you from the person who talks bad about you, the person who you least expected, the person you don't want to see in 1,000 years, guys. That's where your blessings are coming from, guys. And you know, the main focus points that I want us to focus on today, and remember, guys, is number 1, like I said in the beginning, enemies will be our footstool, guys. What happened? Goliath put David on the map. Judas put Jesus on the map, guys. And I hope you guys love this message as much as I did delivering it to you guys. And sorry again for all the noises that you heard, any type of noise, guys, because this is Miami. But I hope you guys like the video, and also click subscribe and comment down if you guys want to hear specific ideas or reflections you want me to talk about. And I hope you guys have an amazing day, and see you next Thursday.